Good evening and welcome to Knoch High School for tonight's presentation of WPIAL football here on High Top Sports Network. Joe Rhodes bringing you the action here between the Knoch Knights and the North Catholic Trojans. Should have the pleasure of being joined by Brandon Schreckengost here shortly. In the meantime, I'm just riding solo. First possession here belongs to the Trojans. Just underway here. Beautiful night at Knoch. First pass on the outside, just past the outstretched hands of the near receiver. That was Jack White. Jack White with a big 80-yard touchdown reception a week ago. I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess he's not the same Jack White from the White Stripes. That would be a tremendous amount of eligibility still left for Jack White. As for the young man under center, Filitsky, he had a big week last Friday despite the loss for the Trojans. They played Seton LaSalle and fell in a season opener against a Seton LaSalle team expecting to do some big things here after a couple really tough seasons. North Catholic still following in that one, and of course Knoch falling in big fashion to Kiski area. Of course, Kiski area, 5A school. Knoch still with big expectations of their own. Colt Sprankle under center. Mullen now at receiver. Athletes all over the field. And it was a snicker from the public address announcer here in the beginning of the game. You heard him kind of laugh as he felt like was 10 different receivers in the starting lineup as this one's completed for a first down and then some. Nice pass there. Good job by Filitsky to get that out of his hands quickly and find his receiver. That was Skirka with the tackle. Didn't see who got that reception from Filitsky, but nonetheless, North Catholic back up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Three receivers bottom of your screen. Filitsky's looking that way, finds one of them. That, of course, is Will. Oh, man, we're going to have a fun time with this. And, I feel bad. I'm Slovenian. I should know this name. Waskowitz. I apologize to that young man if I butchered his name. My Slovenian ancestors would be very disappointed in me. North Catholic quickly back to the line once again here. Already down to the Knoch 30-yard line. Filitsky moving the offense quite well here early on for North Catholic, but a false start by the team in white. That, of course, North Catholic will push them back. That'll be a 1st and 15 here. 10:21 left in quarter numero uno. Illegal procedure is the official call. A lot of passing yards a week ago by North Catholic. It's going to be up to those athletes we spoke of. And there's one right there. Incomplete pass. A big hit there on the side of the Knights. That was number 22. Yeah, Spencer, nice job there with a big stick laid on the intended receiver for North Catholic. Called his name a couple times already. Will Waskowitz. I'm going to go on a limb and say that's probably not right. Now a 2nd and 15, 10:03 left here. And another whistle as the Knoch sideline begins to clap, and that will make you only believe it's another illegal procedure call. The Trojans will get pinned back even further. Replay down will make it a 2nd down and 20. I want to thank tonight's official broadcast partner and scoreboard sponsor, the one and only Sprankle's Neighborhood Market here in Saxonburg, PA. Also, too, I want to mention that one of the best events around, really, in the region, in my opinion, going to be bigger than ever this year. Here in just short time, September. Make sure you stop out at Lernerville Speedway for this year's version of the Oktoberfest, Sprankle's Oktoberfest. Another flag once again, and issues up front for North Catholic. Not a great conclusion to this one unless North Catholic can come up with a big play here on 2nd and 25. They're moving quite well. 3 consecutive penalties and illegal motion this time, moving the Trojans in the wrong direction. And nothing doing there. The Knoch defense all over it again. Mullen on the tackle there. And we talked about those athletes, not just good on offense. That's the one thing that I don't want anybody out there to assume, that guys like Mullen are a one-trick pony. He's going to be just as important on this side of the football for Knoch this year as he is on the offensive side. You know, obviously playing quarterback a year ago and getting to move to a position he's probably more naturally comfortable with. As Knoch has to burn a timeout as they had an issue getting a player off the field there. So we'll take a break here with 9:31 left in quarter number 1. Your score, North Catholic nothing, Knoch nothing here in the first quarter on High Top Sports Network. Stay tuned. And welcome back to the lovely Saxonburg, Pennsylvania for tonight's presentation of high school football Friday Night Lights. First possession of this game belonging to the Trojans, but another stoppage here. Offside against the home squad here, so a riddled last few moments of penalties, and this one going against the Knights this time. A long ways to go. It'll be a 3rd and 22 for Filitsky and company. 4 receivers, 3 at the bottom of the screen. This one's going to be aired out by Filitsky. Here's a chance, and it's going to be brought in. Looked like it might have been a little bit of a push-off, but not looking back to the football was the defensive back for Knoch, and able to adjust and bring in the catch there. A big catch. It was Jack White. Man, oh man, you got to make sure you see man and ball as it's coming in there, and not the case for the Knights. And now 1st and goal. You had a 3rd and 22 as the always debonair Brandon Schreckengoss joining me here at Knoch. Brandon, you help me out with a little camera and see if we can get you all hooked up on the mic. Let the people hear your lovely voice. Yeah, big break there for North Catholic, excuse me. Brandon, if you saw it on your way in there, a 3rd and 22, they were able to complete a long pass down the field. And as a result, good, Brandon.
Illegal procedure.
Oh, I have no idea what that was. That was bad. Go, Brandon. Still nothing. Oh, there we go. Brandon, anything? This is the wrong end. That would be why. So, what an interesting sequence of events this has been. Be happy you didn't have your headset on there, Brandon. That was a horrific noise. Brandon, let me hear you. I think I got you now.
Can't hear you. Can you hear me? Oh, that is my nose.
You might not hear me yet. We'll get that figured out.
Okay.
You don't hear me, do you?
I don't.
Okay.
But you can hear me?
I can hear you.
That's the important part. Hello, everyone.
Brandon, great to see you. The last time we were here together, it was a wacky set of events.
Yeah, a little bit higher this time, it looks like.
Yeah, we were in the booth. I kind of like it up here, though. Nice pass there by Valetsky trying to find this slant. He does. He connects with his receiver. That's Nathan Mayer. So we have a third and, we'll say, Brandon, what do you say? About 3rd and goal at the 6.
I mean, 3rd and goal, yeah, maybe 5.5.
So a big moment here in this game. Long drive, already 8:20 left, or only 8:20 left here in the first quarter, and Colt Sprankle and the Knoch offense have yet to touch the football. We'll see if this Knoch defense can buckle down now here in the red zone. Valetsky's going to try to scramble around. He's going to try to move forward, but he's hit from low, and then I think that's Mullen. Yeah, Mullen.
Mullen, good hit on him. Way to plug up that hole there.
Mullen making me look good there, Brandon. I was just talking about how he's just as vital for this team offensively as he is defensively. Quarterback last year, now Colt Sprankle here for the Knoch Knights, and thus Mullen able to move out to receiver, a more natural position for him maybe, but probably a little bit more breathing room for him to be able to play some defense as well, you'd imagine.
Oh, showing that he can also captain the defense.
So a field goal attempt here to cap off this drive is good for the Trojans. That was number 44, Joey Valetsky. I'm sorry, that's a Dylan Shantz with the 3-point conversion there. So the Trojans, after a very long drive, end it with 3, and they take a 3-0 lead here in the first quarter of this WPIAL matchup, non-conference matchup from Saxonburg, PA. Brandon Schreckengost to my right. My name is Joe Rhodes. Really glad to be here. Going to try to get the scoreboard up and going. Brandon, I'm going to try to, got a new camera. I hope it looks good for all the folks out there. So maybe zoom it in a little bit.
You got fancy stuff, okay.
I'm fancy.
You're fancy now.
You fancy, huh? So Brandon, it's just as I look for another end so we can get you some audio. You want to take the folks through the last time we were here together?
Oh, yeah, sure. So last time that we were here, I don't remember the exact situation. I know there was a field goal or an extra point that I think we agreed totally.
It didn't go in.
Didn't go in.
It
totally not even close.
Unless, as we said in that very same broadcast, unless it hit a 100-mile-per-hour gust of wind, it just defied logic in our eyeballs.
Yeah. Or like we're just extremely blind.
That could be it too.
So definitely didn't go in. It was called good as the kickoff goes deep. It looks like it's going to go into the end zone for a touchback. And the refs called it good. So it was an extra point.
I mean,
gave a weird lead, swung momentum, and then we fell into the ever so long, still lasting simulation that we are in today, which made me late for this game.
There you go. It knew you were coming, so. But yeah, there were just some fluky things happening. The MVP of that game, though, if you remember, it was Greensburg-Salem versus these famed Knoch Knights. The Lion from Greensburg-Salem, if you remember correctly.
Yes. All part of the simulation.
So now Sprankle and the Knights will have the first possession of this ball game. Ball at the 20-yard line. I should say the first possession of for Knoch tonight, and they begin the offensive set with a running play. And that was one of my keys to this game. The Trojans got gashed a week ago in their loss to Seton LaSalle. Brandon, I believe I have a note here. Yeah, they gave up 174 yards and a touchdown to Logan King, a senior from Seton LaSalle. And he had touchdown runs of 10, 34 yards to pace Seton LaSalle offense. So I think it's a recipe for success. If Knoch can kind of run the ball, it's only going to make things easier for some of these good wide receivers. And that young man right there is going to keep this one. Colt Sprankle going a little bit to the left. He's met by 2 tacklers, but not until he gains, say, 7 yards or 8 yards for what appears to be very close to a first down, but they're going to mark it short by a yard, make it 3rd and 1.
Well, you establish the run, you keep control of the ball, you're able to keep the defense on the field, make them exhausted. Establishing the run is always a good method to get to it's old school. It's my favorite way.
Yeah, it's everything it always is said to be. The run game can open up the pass game, and I think you want to try to pick apart your opponent's vulnerabilities. I think that kind of goes without saying, but I think especially early in the season here when both of these teams are still trying to figure out their identities, this one's going to be outside and past the tackles and up past the midfield marker and into Trojans territory was number 22. They're not numerical ordered. 22. That's Skirka. Sam Skirka called his name a couple times here already on defense, taking up a big first down there for the Knights, who have a fresh set of downs. Ball at the 49-yard line of the Trojans. Again, running the football, proving to be a positive right now for the Knights. That one through the hands of its intended receiver. Sprankle tries to find Keaton Oprosky, but he can't reel it in.
A little bit of a bobble there, dangerous whenever you have the ball going upwards, not towards the ground if you're not catching it.
Kind of came back to the football, and as he turned, Sprankle had that one on him quickly, but he just could not bring it in. A couple big drops a week ago in that loss to Kiski area. One in the end zone cost the Knights some points late. As Skirka's going to take this one, breaks a couple tackles. He's going to try to drag another, and he gets down to the 40-yard line, very close to a first down. Nice run there, and a really nice job by those offensive linemen of Knoch to kind of clear a path and get downfield for Skirka, who is just a yard short here. Another 3rd and 1 here for the Knights, Brandon.
And a counter play, Joe. They faked it like he was going to the right side, decided to go left, broke a tackle, and had all the room after that.
Yeah, great play design, and obviously a really nice job by the offensive line there to let Skirka do what he does. And again, here's running the football, proving to be a positive. As Sprankle's going to keep this one. He's going to get past the tackler, and had a blocker out in front of him who kind of just missed that the Trojan, that missed him there about the ankles. Sprankle's still able to pick up the first down. I guess that's all that matters, so they'll get a fresh set of downs, and 5:08 left in this first quarter.
Looks like a pretty good RPO there. That's a run-pass option, Joe. It looked like he wanted to pass it out. Nice short pass, would have got the first down, but decided to pull it down and take the safe option. He had him in front as a blocker instead of a receiver.
So the Knights in sort of a tight formation here. Only one receiver bottom of your screen. Sprankle's going to hand this one off to number 7. That is Ethan Rouleau. Rouleau with a nice little scamper to the right. And you're seeing some big plays, at least some big gainers right now for Knoch in the run game. And that was what my big key to success here tonight was. You saw what the St. LaSalle was able to do a week ago against these Trojans. If you're Knoch, you might as well see if you can recreate that magic in a bottle.
Oh, every big run so far has been a counter, so they're really biting on the fake to one direction than the other.
And having a mobile quarterback too, Brandon, I'd say probably helps that a little bit as well. It's the magic man himself, Colt Sprankle, breaks the tackle. He's going to take this one outside. He's got some room. There's a big block set for him. He's going to have it, and he's in. Colt Sprankle with a big touchdown run to put the Knights in front, 6-3. The magic man waving his wand and getting in the end zone for 6.
How many yards did you say they gave up last week?
To one man, it was just 173. So I'm assuming somebody else got a carry for some yards.
Yeah, it does look like they're on a good pace to fix that.
So this is the very same field goal, or the end, Brandon.
It's the very end. We're up a little higher. Maybe we have a better vantage point.
Where we saw a football not go through, but be called good. And everybody else in the crowd was okay with it except us.
Yeah. Maybe you can break the simulation if it happens again.
No, that was in. That was good. Yeah, that was definitely good. So with that, the Knights will go up 7-3, answering that long drive by the Trojans with a touchdown. They now lead 7-3 here with 4:18 left in quarter number 1 on this week 1 presentation of high school football on High Top Sports Network. For Brandon Schreckengost to my right, my name is Joe Rhodes. We'll be right back. And welcome back to High Top Sports Network. Trying to get our scoreboard all squared away here for you. Brandon, how have you been?
Living the dream, living the simulation, if you will.
It's been a minute, man. I haven't seen you in a while. You're doing a great job there. Excuse me, for High Top Sports Network, doing some volleyball playoffs back in, when they've been last fall. It's hard to believe that was a year already. You and the always wonderful Jay Dudek doing a great job there.
Well, I've had some pretty big changes in my life. New job that required me going on like a new sleep schedule and everything. So if this game goes till 9, I apologize whenever I start yawning.
Brandon always on that grind. Hey, and then we'll get the score correct now as the Knights kick off, leading 7-3 here in quarter number 1. And a nice job to get the ball carrier quickly there after it was brought in. I think it was 85 for North Catholic who had that. That's Joe Safar, the senior. He's brought down at the 35, and that's where Filitsky and company will begin here. The number 1 receiver here on North Catholic tonight, Brandon, his name's Jack White. What are the chances that he is the same Jack White of the famous band, the White Stripes?
Probably not great. I feel like there's an age cap, but, you know, maybe he got edited.
I would think that would be fantastic. I'm going to guess you're correct there, that it's not Jack White of the White Stripes.
Oh.
And a nice job there. Yeah, nice. Filitsky's been impressive here so far. He's put the ball on the dot, and, you know, despite suffering a loss a week ago, Brandon, Filitsky put up some numbers of his own, well over 200 yards, I believe. Yeah, he went for 242 and 2 touchdowns and an interception. 80 of those, as mentioned, to the infamous Seven Nation Army inventor himself, Jack White.
I'll see if they had his size, because he looks like a bigger guy out there.
So the Trojans, their second possession of this game. Filitsky able to step through the defensive line right there. Nice job there to kind of whittle his way through, and a good block, and allows him to scamper up past the first down sticks and bring up, move the sticks and set up a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line with 3:28 left, Brandon.
And that was really good pocket awareness, Joe. He first saw the pressure. He stepped up into the pocket, kept his eyes downfield before eventually scampering off for the big gain.
So a response possibly upcoming here for the Trojans, who, again, held the football for quite some time there in their first possession. I'm going to say the Knoch didn't touch the football for the first time until there was something 8 and change left on the clock. But this is exactly what stalled North Catholic's first drive, Brandon. They had 3 consecutive penalties, 2 motion calls, and then 2 illegal procedures, and then a motion infraction. Set them back, but they did get it back on that long play, but had to still settle for 3.
I heard all the penalties happening whenever I was being held on the street by the security guard because he was lecturing somebody.
He just didn't believe you were broadcasting. He's like, this guy's trying to pull a fast one on me, isn't he?
Well, there was somebody trying to cross the street without him knowing, and he went on this big safety rampage. I'm there like, hey man, I gotta get across. I'm broadcasting tonight.
Yeah, the people gotta hear you.
And he's like, you'll wait for me. I was like, I'll wait for you. You're wearing the yellow vest.
I'll wait for you. And as a result, I was running camera and doing commentary and trying to get everything all settled, but you want to keep the people safe here. Knoch, and that's a nice job there. This ball's up in the air, very long, and Knoch dodges a bullet there. North Catholic rather dodges a bullet there. That could have easily been picked off. Good pressure there by the defensive lineman. Bring up a 3rd and 8.
Also, luckily they rolled his arm going forward. Could have been a big fumble as well.
Yeah, I hate seeing that for a quarterback, because that can be pretty painful there too. But Filitsky has age on his side. You remember what it was to be 17, 18 years old. You could just run into a wall and just be absolutely fine.
Yeah, I'm glad my mic didn't work at first, because I was pretty huffing and puffing from coming up all these stairs.
Now the wind's doing all the huffing and puffing for us. A very kind of breezy night, especially up here on top of the press box. And right there, nice job by those front.
I heard rumors of rain, but It wasn't from my phone, so I don't believe it.
Someone else's phone telling you sweet little lies.
It was an iPhone.
Can't trust them.
Nope.
So a fourth down, and 10. Looks like the North Catholic
Scoreboard's telling me 4th and 8.
4th and 8, yeah. And looks like Filitsky and the offense.
If we can trust the scoreboard.
If we can. That's dicey.
Everything at Knoch's a lie.
Nonetheless, yeah, Filitsky's on the field here. 2 receivers at the bottom, sidecar to his left, 1 receiver to the top. 4th and 8, a big play here early on in this contest. 1:58 left in the first quarter, and that's going to be a whistle, and it's going to go against North Catholic once again. The 5th penalty against North Catholic's offense here in this first quarter.
You know what, Joe? I'd like to retract my statement. Not everything in Knoch's a lie. I'm sure everybody here's lovely people. It's just I'm a little shook from the simulation last time.
Yeah, we made a blooper reel. If you go to the High Top Sports Network YouTube page, you can find that. Brandon and I just beside ourselves, some of the things that were happening, including the line that was a ladies' man that night, picking up all the.
I wish I had the riz of that line.
Indeed, and this is a nice little design there by North Catholic, a little pooch punt that's going to go down and stop at the 1-yard line. Nice design there and a nice little pooch punt. Though North Catholic's drive did not end the way they would like, they're not giving Colt Sprankle and the Knoch offense much here. They're going to have to go 99 yards if they want to replicate what they did in their last drive, Brandon.
Yeah, well, the run worked pretty well for him last time, and normally at the 1-yard line, you want to run to create a little bit of space.
Brandon,
the secret here for the Trojans is to not bite on that counter.
Yeah, and maybe that's a credit to Sprankle, really disguising it well and keeping them on their toes. But so far, I think the formula has been pretty clear: run the football and take your shots when you can. It's worked pretty well, as now the Knights have their second possession of this game with 1:32 left in the first quarter. So there's a really good chance we could end this first 12 minutes of this game with just 4 total possessions. Sprankle in the end zone, rolling to his left. That one thrown across his body into some traffic, trying to find a receiver. That was number 4, Brandon. The one, the only, Caden Spencer.
Yeah, I don't love the play call whenever you're running it really well and you're on the 1-yard line, but also no pressure, so I guess not too much harm.
Another thing, despite the loss last week, Colt Sprankle in his Knoch debut, he went over 200 yards. .126 left here. Colt Sprankle still in the end zone here. He's going to try to air this one out. He's going to go deep, losing his footing, and then just not able to catch stride was Spencer once again. So he'll bring up a 3rd and 10. And here you see the Knights kind of deviating from their game plan that was working also well, but I guess part of that is too that they're in their end zone, and maybe handing it off runs a risk of getting a safety in favor of North Catholic.
Just a wee bit too much power on that one.
Well, Colt has a cannon, we know that. Colt, very nice young man, very respectful. We know him quite well here in the network. And though we don't root during games, we certainly wish Colt nothing but the best as he finds his receiver down the sideline on a big 3rd down. Skirka having a big first quarter here on the ground and coming up with a big 3rd down catch there, Brandon. And one thing that Sprankle did really well last week, despite the outcome, was thrown across his body. Not an easy thing necessarily to do for a young quarterback, but right there doing it quite well, finding Skirka and picking up the.
I was just going to say, did you see the angle his arm was at during that throw?
Looking like basically like a shortstop, essentially.
Does he play baseball?
He does not. He did when he was younger, but no longer the case. He is a football guy only and a part-time golfer.
Mistake that one, really.
Does quite well when he picks up the sticks and goes to the home of the official golf home of High Top Sports Network. Brandon, you know the place, Birdsfoot Golf Club. Little option play there. The Knights able to pick up a few, bring up 2nd down and 8 as we near the end of the first quarter. Just 6 ticks left.
I like Birdsfoot. Good, great golf course. Just a little advanced for my golfing skills.
A little fancy.
A little advanced for my golfing skills.
Advanced.
I'm not the best golfer.
Well, I would like to think that Birdsfoot's the kind of place where, you know, a really good golfer can get the challenge they're looking for. New golfers can kind of find a good home to learn. It's an open course, but yet you run into things like we're seeing here tonight, some wind, and you know, that's why we're proud to call it the official golf home of High Top Sports Network. Make sure you check out Birdsfoot in these last few days of summer. It's just a gorgeous place. I love coming there this time of night.
I would like to reiterate that a mini putt course is a little advanced for my golfing skills.
Well, little known fact, you are an excellent miniature golfer. Several awards in your past, I believe. Is this not true?
You know, I'd love to pretend like I heard that, but I just didn't.
Oh. Well, I know that's the case. You're being bashful, and I get that. It's not always easy to talk about some of your accolades and successes, but some awards have been won here. Some medals, some trophies, some hardware, Brandon. And I'm proud of you.
Participation trophies.
Not getting participation trophies, the Knoch offense here so far, Brandon.
Good transition.
A nice job there, and you saw what happened. The first 3 plays of that second drive, trying to air it out a little bit, trying to be maybe a little bit too aggressive, and then kind of got back to the things that are working. Those short intermediate passes, letting Sprangle kind of get out in space, making that great throw across his body. You know, he's a mobile quarterback, and you can tell he's gotten very comfortable throwing on the run. If you give him the kind of time that you've seen here so far here tonight, he'll make things happen. And I think this mixture of timely running and timely passing, kind of mixing up, has been very good for both Sprankle and this Knoch offense. Kind of still trying to fill things out as they're only playing their second game together.
Handoff. Oh, not a handoff.
Sprankle's going to be brought down. Held on to this one just a little too long. He was looking towards Mullen down the far sideline, but couldn't get rid of it. He was tracked down by, I believe it was number 57, Matthew Reimers. This very nice lady over there. I wish I would have caught her name. She's wonderful. This one right here. She gave me that sweet little laminated roster.
It's nice. I like it.
I need to thank her before this is all said and done. But what's not all said and done is his drive. It's at the 3rd and 14, Brandon. Another transition for you, Sprankle, and this Knoch offense needing a bigger play. He looks to that far side, somehow escapes danger. He's going to move up in the pocket. His blockers kind of didn't find a man to hit. He saw his receivers kind of go to that second level, not taking care of the guys that were right in front of him, and as a result, Sprankle's going to come up well short. It'll be a 4th down.
Respectfully, that looked like a Madden play where your offensive line just kind of stands there and looks for somebody to block, and Sprankle's doing all it can, but not going to do so much.
So the punt team will come on. It looks like Mullen will be back to have the honors. Sprankle.
Oh, I noticed?
Yes.
Not a single run on that drive.
Yeah, I mean, they got Skirka involved, but that's a great point. That was on a pass play. No, there's an option play.
Oh, yeah, speed option. You're right.
But, I mean, yeah, not what we saw from that Knoch offense in that first possession of this game that yielded 7 points. So I think, again, that's going to be something to kind of look at and see how this offense, the play calling, I guess the offense chooses to go with here in the remainder of this one. So we're in the second quarter. Make sure we get that all changed for you fine people. Knoch leading 7-3 here in the second quarter. This non-conference WPIAL matchup on High Top Sports Network. We're also High Top Sports Network also at Hampton tonight for the Talbot's Armstrong Riverhawks contest. It'll be a good one. Make sure you tune into that as well. And then we also have Eric Westendorf and our buddy Bob Booterball down at Derry Area High School, making the trek to the foothills of the Laurel Highlands for a little contest between the Derry Trojans, another Trojans on the network tonight, and the Freeport Yellow Jackets. That's right, I said yellow.
Are there other color jackets?
Yeah, yellow. But I put a little bit of a twang on it. So brought down there was by Frazier was the ball carrier. 2nd and 4, 10 minutes left here, quarter number 2. We see North Catholic move the football, but really can't capitalize on it. And really the big story there, penalties, penalties, penalties. False starts, illegal procedures have just mounted for these Trojans. I believe 5 offensive penalties of the such in the first quarter. And there's another one right there. Man, oh man.
About the self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah, if the Trojans somehow come away with the victory here tonight, they're going to say that they really dodged a bullet, because they have just been going backwards all game long. As you said, Brandon, self-inflicted wounds. And yet another one there by the North Catholic offense.
I still love the "you can't do that" chants. Brings a smile to my face.
What?
The crowd going, "You can't do that."
Yeah, I love that. Very original. I think they're aware that they're not allowed to do that, by the way.
They might not be.
Yeah.
Might need to learn.
The pocket breaking down and collapsing quickly there. Politsky looked like he might have had a hole there, but that hole closed quickly, Brandon, as the guys up front for Knoch doing a great job there of penetrating and bringing Politsky down back behind the line of scrimmage. Will bring up right around the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 15. Now with
Sabalski really plugged up that hole pretty fast.
Yeah.
And a fun name to say.
It is indeed. And you know, there's another one of those really good athletes. This team, just athletes up and down the roster. Sabalski among them. And, you know, Kiski kind of really wielded their strength, and that one's incomplete. Nice job there by the corner for Knoch. Leprosky able to break that one up, bring up a 4th and 15. So a short drive there, the shortest of the night for North Catholic. But what I was saying there to finish that up, Brandon, Kiski really had their way in the trenches with Knoch in that game a week ago. Of course, you got 5A playing 3A here, and you know, you kind of got to take that into consideration. But you know, I think Knoch so far it looks like they kind of took that personally, kind of taking the fight and the battle in the trenches to this North Catholic team. As you saw there in that drive, getting some good pressure on Politsky, the North Catholic signal caller. Now they'll punt. I believe that was a 3 and out, Brandon. So the first of the sort here for either team, I believe, tonight. Mullen catches that one on the move. He's going to get past midfield and down around the North Catholic 43-yard line. That's where Sprankle and company will take over with some excellent field position.
I thought that punt was going to get past him. It was a real line drive, but he brought it in and made something out of it.
Yeah, he was a quarterback last year for this Knoch team. As we look up at the skies that appear like they might open up eventually.
I mean, this kind of looks pretty.
It does look pretty, and we run just a tremendous risk of electrocution here. Just what you wanted to spend your Friday night, Brandon, I'm sure.
I mean, hey, I was dog sitting.
I know, I heard that. That was amazing. Is it a nice dog? I have to ask.
It is a nice dog.
What's his name?
Nala.
Okay.
She's lovely.
Average name. Sorry to.
I'll be with her in the next few days.
Cool. We'll send her High Top's best. A nice job there, cutting back towards the middle and then kind of bouncing off a tackler was Skirka. He's had a really nice first half thus far. Got a big reception there in that last drive, but running the football quite well. And Brandon, I think that's the kind of running you were speaking of a little bit ago that really made Knoch successful early on. They kind of got away from that last drive, but right there, right back to it.
It's one of those things, like, if it's not broke, you shouldn't fix it. And they tried to fix it last drive. I mean, it looked flashy, but go back to the tried and true.
Indeed. Now Sprankle is going to have it. He's going to keep this one, go off the right side. He's brought down behind the line of scrimmage, though. No blocking outside for him. That play maybe prematurely breaking down for Sprankle there. Bring up a 3rd down and 8. Ball at the 40-yard line. 7:25 left. And Brandon, one of my favorite parts of the game are the festivities here on a Friday night. The bands will be on full display here at halftime, so make sure you stick around for that. We've got to bring you the whole Friday night experience here on High Top Sports Network. We don't believe in just parts of it. You got to hear the band. You got to hear the crowd, and excuse me. It's important to us that the band gets their love. The Sprankle's going to air this one out, and that one, though, it was a cannon.
I'll tell you what, Joe, the cannon's loaded. He just needs to adjust that aim a little.
Yeah, and I think Sprankle maybe taking one too many shots deep. You know, you love to make that big play. You love to get those chunk plays and put points on the board quickly, but you kind of got to be calculated on those too. And so far, a lot of attempts long, and especially on a pivotal down like that. It was 3rd and 8. You know, you want to maybe pick up the first down and continue to run this clock down, and instead you're running a fake punt with Mullen there, and he's going to get past the sticks and then some. Mullen out of bounds around the 18-yard line. Great job there by the Knoch Knights coaching staff. A great play call there. That's one way to move the sticks, Brandon.
Hey. Sometimes you gotta catch your opponent sleeping. You hear him snoring a little, and you're just like, hey, buddy.
Tap him on the shoulder, or they're not responding. You just do something like that.
Yeah.
I myself a deep sleeper.
What's that like?
I don't know. I don't recall, so I don't know.
I cannot offer on your sleep schedule, Joe. It's way too.
My sleep schedule is just insane.
It's way too lacking sleep for me.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Quite undue. And here's a piece of yellow laundry yet again coming on the field. See what this one's for. So a delay of game by the Knights. Move them back 5 yards.
They gave us too much time to talk up here.
Appreciate that by the Knoch offense. Either my voice apparently going already.
Oh, there went a roster.
That was a roster.
Yep.
So when did this iPhone tell you it was going to rain, Brandon?
It was my trainer's iPhone, so I don't know. My phone said no rain.
What phone should we trust?
Let me double check my phone here, because my phone was set to Katanning. Let me change it to Knoch.
Saxonburg. Sprankle able to complete the pass to Mullen.
We have a 40% chance of rain at 9 p.m.
Ooh, that's relatively soon, isn't it? Well, if we happen to cut off the air, folks, it's only to preserve our lives. It's not to take the action away from you. I know you guys count on these broadcasts to watch them wherever you may. Sprankle decides to go right there, and good block to about the 8-yard line. Sprankle just a few yards short of another first down for these Knights. And that's the kind of running I think that Coach wanted to see out of Colt there. You know, he knew the play had really truly broken down there. A lot of the receivers downfield taking those defenders with them, and a lot of space then for Sprankle to, again, use those magic feet of his, the magic man. The nice scamper. Here's Mullen. He's going to run to the right side, cut it back inside, try to spin, but a flag's going to come in, and you imagine that's probably going to go against the Knights here, Brandon. A holding call is what I suspect.
Yep. You're a wise man, Joe. Anybody ever tell you that?
I know. No one's ever told me that, ever.
Oh, hey. First time for everything.
Thank you. So
the other crowd, let him know you can't do that.
Yeah, Trojan faithful over there wanted to remind Colt Sprankle and his offensive linemen that they were not allowed to grab the jersey of their opponent and hold them. We're not allowed to grab the jersey of their opponent and hold them, stop them, prevent them from going after the ball carrier. That would be a hold. So now a 3rd and 3 turns into a 3rd and 13. 5:38 left, quarter number 2, and a timeout will be taken. So Brandon and I will take a timeout as well here from Saxonburg, PA. Your score, Knoch 7, Central Catholic 3 here on this Week 1 edition of high school football on High Top Sports Network.
Steffi's Country Catering prepares home-style made-from-scratch dishes that will have you convinced Mom made it. Whatever the occasion, Steffi's Country Catering will have you coming back for every event year-round. Find us on Facebook to place an order or to see our Sunday specials, or call 724-54-85047.
And welcome back to the town of Saxonburg, little village of, is it a village? I'm not sure, but Saxonburg, nonetheless, is where we currently are. What?
That's a good question.
A big third down here, 3rd and 13 for the Knoch Knights in their offense, leading 7-3. A field goal on their first possession of this game is how North Catholic has gotten their points, but right there, another great play design by the Knights. Spencer coming back towards the middle of the field, able to catch that one and scamper pretty much up the hashes, get a fresh set of downs at the 2-yard line, so plenty of cracks at the end zone now for the Knights, who have Mullen right there as a sidecar. He hands it off to him, and he scampers in for a touchdown. The Knights now lead 13-3 here with 5:13 left in quarter number 2, Brandon.
The old running play.
The old running play.
Also, it's a burrow.
Yes. And that has worked quite well tonight for the Knights. We keep saying that to nauseum, kind of, but truth be told, it's worked.
Like Saxonburg is a borough. I've done the research.
Oh, you've done the research. It's a borough.
I've done the research.
Not a village?
No.
What are the other options? Could be a village.
City, town, Commonwealth, maybe. Oh, that's PA.
Yeah. Commonwealth. Apparently I was told
Commonwealth within a Commonwealth.
Somebody said it's bad to be a Commonwealth. That's why our cost of living is so expensive compared to a place like Ohio. I don't know. I don't like that kind of stuff. I don't deal with finance and politics and taxing, and that's no fun. I'm a sports guy.
My trainer at work is a politics guy, and
probably gets annoying, huh?
Huh?
Your trainer, is it get annoying? You're allowed to tell him he's annoying on the air right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's respectful about it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Also, speaking about work, Andre, if you did find a way to listen, what up?
Yeah, hopefully we're able to find us on the High Top Sports Network YouTube.
Tell them where to go.
HighTopSportsNetwork.com, or just find us on YouTube.
Yep.
Our YouTube page, High Top Sports Network. There's another High Top Sports Network. It's like some weird podcast in Florida. Now, granted, they give them some props. They have like 21,000 followers.
Good for them.
Man, they're all about the Florida Gators. That's not us.
They can.
We're the one with the shoe.
They can donate some followers to my podcast.
Brandon, give your podcast the plug. Guilty plug here.
My podcast, Shrek Attack.
Can you spell that for those out there like myself that are?
We talk about a little bit of everything.
What did you talk about in the most recent episode here, Brandon?
I'm not sure what you're saying, Joe, but there's a kickoff happening.
Brandon without headphones yet. We're going to get that fixed here at halftime. We're also going to get the score fixed. The Knights able to tack on a couple more there and lead 14-3. How do you like my monitor here too, Brandon?
With football coming up, I'll be talking a little bit of football. I'll probably talk about some high top sports here, you know.
That's right.
But kind of on a little hiatus now. My recording room's a little too hot, so I'm welcoming this weather. This weather's great.
You'll have to come by. The High Top offices are almost done. Finally, after what is almost a year.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, man. It's been a long time coming. We're gonna kind of take everybody inside the veil and show us the grand opening of High Top Sports Network. Of course, we had a terrible fire a year ago, and that ball thrown into double coverage and in front of its intended target.
I've been kind of living in a bubble, Joe.
Oh yeah, like the movie Bubble Boy.
Yeah. Well, I got a new job, and my insurance at my old job lasts, and I have a 90-day probation period, so I don't have insurance until, you know.
So basically, you're treading lightly.
Yeah. And
Don't
right before I
get hurt.
lost my insurance, I passed out in the gym, so I'm really in a bubble.
I hear you. I'm just in an old man bubble. I love the game of basketball, but I officially retired. I only golf now.
I'm not sure. Good tackle.
Might be a face mask or something that comes in there late. Can't imagine it'd be a hold. Filitsky, though.
I normally do a turkey bowl since, you know, we're.
Well, that's asking for it. That's when terrible injuries happen.
And I'm wondering if this is the year I hang up the cleats.
I say it ain't so.
I also coach soccer, and I often go out and run with the kids. I'm wondering if this year is the year where I gotta just be the knowledgeable old man instead of a cool demonstrative coach.
Well, a ton of knowledge in that big old brain pan of yours, Brandon. Oh, both those penalties go against North Catholic.
I'm getting more gray every year.
Yeah, but it's a sign of sophistication.
Whoever is in control of the simulation needs to do what they did with Jack White, edit me down some age.
Yeah,
Bringing it all back.
Something my mother would say, it's, you earned those gray hairs. You live long enough to inherit them, and that's a good thing. That means you've been around. And another flag comes in, and that's just
Flag was instant.
Yeah, that was just one of what has been many, many, many. Is now Filitsky is just
a fun play though.
He just ran about a quarter of a mile on one play.
Number 5's just showing off. We're up here talking about being old. Number 5's just casually jumping over benches.
Yeah, Mullen. Hope he runs hurdles in the spring. That one's going to go against North Catholic, and I think that Filitsky probably knew it was against them. Why he decided to continue to run and make that play as, dare I say, exhausting looking as it had to have been. But yet again, this penalty bug has been the story of this first half for North Catholic. You've seen some promising drives just really halted as a result.
From watching him, can you hear it?
Yeah,
that's totally not the real win.
That's you gasping for air.
Yeah.
Again, another just crucial penalty. It's first and 27 now. Ball at the 17. 4:21 left in quarter number 2. And the Knoch defense getting good penetration again, and boy, oh boy, Brandon, it's
There's a common phrase in Madden that the commentators say all the time, because the commentators say the same 5 lines every game, especially whenever you have a penalty or 20. You can't get it all back at once. They got to short route their way back. They can't take the steep routes, because that's going to happen, Joe.
Indeed. Couldn't have said it better myself. 3:40 left, Brandon. Really hoping this rain doesn't happen.
Well, I didn't do my rain dance today, so it should hold off. That was a beautiful pass.
That was indeed a beautiful pass there by Filitsky, finding the tight end over the middle of the field. He was hit as he reached up for that ball, and that'll knock the wind out of you real easily there. Number 84, let's give him some props. Great catch and able to hold on to it through the contact. That was, did I say 83, Brandon? We'll take that off of him. That's all good. That's number 85. I apologize. Joe Safar. Senior. Hopefully that's just a cramp. I thought it was maybe something as a result of that hit, but the trainer kind of tending to his kind of foot area there. Maybe a cramp. That'd be the best outcome. Still early in the season. We see these a lot. Over the last few years of calling games, these early season contests are just littered with cramps, and it's a best case scenario in all those. It still tends to slow the game down. Good to see that young man up and moving after that great catch, Joe Safar. So 14-3, the Knights looking to close out this first half with one more defensive stand. 4th and 9 upcoming for North Catholic, and there you go. Look at the penalties. Though that was a big gain there, Brandon.
Still not enough.
Not enough. Yeah, it's just the offensive penalties have really burnt these Trojans all night long. Nearly a block there, but Mullen's going to be able to fair catch this one and drop it. And that one's going to be a ball that I think is scooped up by North Catholic. Mullen, uncharacteristic turnover there. Power and numbers there. Saul Mullen was in that pile, and there's one more night, but otherwise it was all white jerseys, and those white jerseys come up with the football.
Yeah.
A bad turnover here at the end of the first half. 3:03 left. Knoch really had a chance to kind of milk the rest of the clock and go into this halftime break with at least a 14-3 lead, maybe more.
Sometimes your best play is a punt.
Yeah, but instead now they're going to have to play some tough D here from the 25-yard line of, or their own 25-yard line.
Well,
give some life here as you distract me and make me turn around to see the curtains of rain in the distance. Is that what that is?
That is a rain line right there.
Quick pass outside by Filitsky. A nice move here, cutting across the field is number 14 and down around the, let's say, 18, 17-yard line. Believe that was number 17, was that? Or no, I'm sorry. What number is that?
I believe it was 14.
I believe you're correct. That was number 14, the one and the only Riker Kennedy.
Turning a screen pass that had real no path into something coming back to the middle.
That is a curtain of rain back there. Flitsky now is going to throw outside. This one low at the feet of his intended target. Only the first bad pass I can feel like I remember from Flitsky. He's been pretty solid here thus far, but that one well outside the reach of his intended target, number 7. The one and only guitarist and rock and roll Hall of Famer, Jack White.
I do believe it's the right idea going with the quick pass, but you're up to 3rd down now. Pretty short.
One of the greatest football game hits to get the crowd pumped up, 7 Nation Army. Jack White trying to pump up his team here now, maybe come down with a big touchdown catch and get his team back into this one. Flitsky going near side. Ball caught, but
another quick pass, short route. Was it enough?
Yeah, that was number 6 there with the catch. He was wrapped up by Frazier, but oh man, was with. You want to try that one, Brandon? Waskowicz. Thank you. I apologize too. I'm Slovenian. I should know names like this. I don't. Fakes the handoff. Oh no, that very sneaky play there. Thought that was a fake. It wasn't. Flitsky ends up giving it to the back. He's brought down around the 6-yard line, and that's where play will be stopped. Timeout called with 1:46. Brandon, do we have? You look like you're going to take a picture of this curtain of rain that's behind us. What are the chances that curtain of rain actually becomes a curtain of rain over top of us?
Ooh.
Not good.
Yeah, we just got an update on weather, and rain is likely around 8 p.m.
Likely.
Likely.
And the PA address, oh
word
man.
for word.
Yeah, the PA address announcer said, if there is lightning, we will not be continuing this, or at least there'll be a break. He said, go to your cars. So.
Once upon a time, I called a lightning delay for like 2 hours.
Yeah, once upon a time, Josh Schreckengoss and myself got caught in a monsoon in a state softball game.
Was that part of the blooper reel?
Yeah. That was on the blooper reel. How we didn't get electrocuted, I don't know to this day. That was lightning.
There it is.
There was. Yep.
And we're on a pretty high point. Jim.
Yep. We're at a pretty high point on top of metal, so that's going to probably do it for now. Yep. Teams are leaving the field. We're going to seek cover and get our electric equipment in a safe place. So.
I guess it's now.
Yep. We will be back though for the conclusion of this one, whenever that is. Here on High Top Sports Network. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a bit.